Yellowstone is a national park in the United States, located in the crater of a giant ancient volcano. As a result of its activity, you can see hot springs and violent geysers gushing out of the ground. The landscape of the Yellowstone Reserve is magnificent, with dense forests, majestic canyons, lakes and waterfalls, loud rushing mountain rivers. There are mammals such as the grizzly bear and the wolf. And the views of the park itself, the land, the water, and the wildlife will not leave anyone indifferent. Well, you can talk a lot about the landscape itself. Bison, or more commonly called the buffalo, live 12 to 15 years, but sometimes as long as 20. There are albinos with light spots among bison, but these are an exception. Their size and speed are impressive. With this size, the bison has few enemies in the wild. However, young or conversely old and sick buffalo could be attacked by a pack of wolves, a cougar, or a North American brown bear. Should an attacking animal catch up with a buffalo, he's able to suddenly turn around and defend himself with a pair of hollow but surprisingly strong horns, the length around 60 centimeters. Their nomadic life have made bison an essential factor in maintaining the stability of the prairie ecosystem. Seeds get stuck in their fur, which crumble into another place during long raids of animals. Thus, they contribute to the maintenance of the diversity of steppe vegetation. For the most part, they don't try to escape from an animal breeding farm or leave reserves if they have enough food at their disposal. Bison prefer to eat grass and spend a lot of time searching for food. Bison gestation lasts from 270 to 300 days. One cub, rarely two. It takes about 9 months for a female bison to bear a calf, and sometimes a little longer. As a rule, one baby is usually born in May. The weight, around 33 pounds. A newborn calf can stand for 30 minutes and follow the herd a few hours later. Babies feed on mother's milk for around 9 months and reach puberty at 3 years old. Bison prefer eating moss and lichens and continually move to find food. They're active during the daytime, then at night they rest. The pasture is their favorite place. Within a group, animals keep close to each other. Wolves, for example, very rarely manage to isolate a bison. The outcome of the upcoming battle is often unclear. Indian tribes hunted the buffalo, but there was no significant damage to the herds of bison until the Europeans arrived, who began harvesting the meat and skins of these wild bulls. The bison population, which previously numbered several million, was reduced to several dozen. Today, Yellowstone alone is home to more than 6,000 bison. The number of these giants, weighing more than a ton, exceeds 30,000 individuals in all states. Thanks to Yellowstone, the idea of environmental protection began to gain popularity around the world. Yellowstone National Park is rich in fauna. It's home to more than 300 species of birds, 67 species of mammals, 4 species of amphibians, and 16 species of fish. You'll see bald eagles, American cranes, trumpet swans, and white pelicans in the sky. While this place is very, very unusual, there have been other events. For example, the local population of Yellowstone noticed that since the spring of 2014, bison have been on the run. Scientists predict that if the park's supervolcano wakes up, it will be an incredible disaster. Yellowstone National Park is home to upwards of 200 grizzly bears. Until recently, all of them were under the threat of extinction. Females look after the tiny cubs no longer than 2 years from the moment of birth, and then the young must rely only on their strength. In Yellowstone, there's an excellent chance of bumping into one of these predators. Such a meeting can end tragically for a person, but fortunately, rangers are closely watching the bears. If necessary, they will skillfully wrap the bear family back into the forest. Yellowstone's potential is adorable. There is everything here: ecology, tourism, and forest resources. That's why scientists enjoy studying the various lands of the park. They're in search of resources since this territory is not very well developed. Past volcanic activity in Yellowstone has resulted in significant releases of explosive ash. The last eruption cycle formed a caldera 27 miles wide and 46 miles long as active lava chambers erupted and collapsed. As you can see, the area looks like a classic movie scene and is a landscape you won't soon forget. Here, among the Rocky Mountains, you're reminded of how fragile you and our planet's ecosystem really are. More than 500,000 years ago, a powerful blast took place here. There are also geothermal pools. The Emerald Spring is so beautiful. The water from such a source can be red, blue, yellow, or even brown. However, other colors also prevail. Even the color of gold has a place. Hot spring waters instantly melt calcite. They form cascading terraces. Note, very important, you should never swim in these springs. The water temperature rises noticeably. This applies to the rivers and lakes of the park. Earthquakes are also known to happen. Yellowstone is not only an active geyser, but also a thermal object. The pine forests of Lodge Pole dominate the park's landscapes. It's here that 7 species of conifers and around 1,100 species of vascular plants grow. The region's first inhabitants set up their camps, hunting buffalo every summer. In the Hayden Valley, bison graze without paying attention to the curious tourists. If you're traveling nearby, check out Lamar Buffalo Ranch or Grand Loop Road. Queen Laundry Bathhouse is a log building that's also definitely worth a visit. Government policy for Queen Laundry Bathhouse influenced the National Park Service's approach to managing and making parks accessible to visitors. The Yellowstone Lake Fish Hatchery Historic District became the site of a hatchery back in 1912. The hatchery supplied rivers and lakes with fish for commercial sport. The lake's historic fish hatchery district is the story of the struggle between Yellowstone's original wildlife conservation efforts and the pursuit of commercial fishing. On the map, the area of the national park is not very large compared to the total land area of the Earth. The source emerald, or by the name of 2 Emerald Spring, strikes with the emerald color of the water. The Great Prismatic Spring, which ranks 3rd in the world in terms of size, amazes with various constant changing of shades. Its surface may appear green, yellow, blue, or red. The source Lion, at the moment of ejection of hot steam, emits a sound similar to the roar of a lion and has a cone shape. The color of the lake changes frequently. There are more than 10,000 hydrothermal wonders in Yellowstone National Park, making it one of the most active volcanic regions on the planet. Geysers operate irregularly. The periods between eruptions are many days and sometimes even years. But Old Faithful is a special geyser. It makes itself felt approximately every 92 minutes.